Hey there guys, it's Megan and Ajax. If you are new to my channel, welcome aboard, and if you are returning, then welcome back. This week I am going to be talking about my most overrated attractions. A couple months ago I talked about the attractions at Walt Disney World that I think are kind of underrated, things that I think don't get as much hype as they should. This week I'm going to talk about some of the overrated attractions, things that not necessarily I think are bad attractions. Most of these I absolutely love and adore and I go on them every time, but maybe they have a long wait time that, maybe they have a long wait time that doesn't really correspond with the type of attraction it is, or it's not worth that kind of wait. So don't hate these attractions, still go on them. I just think that they might be a little overrated. So I tried to keep it to 5, but I wanted to have at least one from each park, so that made it 6. So my top 6 overrated attractions. Number 6 is Kali River Rapids, and that is the water ride in Animal Kingdom. A lot of people go on it, especially in the summer, especially in the afternoon when it's super, super hot and, you know, kind of like Splash Mountain, you want to get a little bit wet and cool off a little bit. It's a great attraction, has a great message. I always like to go on it if I have a fast pass especially. The only thing that is a problem for me is with that long wait, you don't get very much ride. The difference between this and Splash Mountain, like I've mentioned before, is Splash Mountain is a ridiculously long ride. So even if you do have to wait for an hour, hour and a half, you're getting like 10 or 11 minutes of ride. So you're going to be getting a good value for your wait time, kind of. But with Kali River Rapids, it's super short. The first time my husband went on it, he was like, that can't be it. Is it seriously over? I was like, yeah, it is. So it's just a really short ride. So you know, like I said, it's got a great message and it's a really fun attraction, and you just don't get to stay on it long enough. So that's why it's number 6 on my most overrated. Number 5 is, we're going to Epcot for number 5, and it is Test Track. Now, don't get me wrong, love me some Test Track. I just liked it better before they redid it. I know a lot of people really like getting to design their own cars and all that kind of thing, but to me, Test Track was, I am the crash test dummy and I'm getting to go through all the tests that cars go through before they can be cars. I liked that aspect of it. I liked that you got to kind of see the process of testing a car out. You know, you got to actually test the track, kind of, you know, you get what I'm saying here? Like, it was a better attraction before they changed it, I guess. A lot of people really like it. I still like it, still do it every time I go. But I just liked it a little bit more before they changed it. So now the new version, while it gets a lot of hype from a lot of people, a little overrated to me. Number 4. Number 4 was hard for me to put down. It's probably a little bit higher on most people's lists, but I couldn't bring myself to put it any higher because I really, really love this attraction. Toy Story Midway Mania. I love this attraction, and it's probably because I am like 7 years old in my mind, so that's probably why I like it so much. Most adults who are my age are not willing to wait in line to do this ride, and so they would put it really high up on the overrated scale, I'm sure, because it does have a ridiculously long line pretty much all the time. So I always try to get a fast pass for it because my husband and I are like super competitive, and we have to beat each other. And we have to go on this multiple times every trip, and I absolutely love it. It is, bless you. So the main issue making it overrated is just the fact that it has such a long line. And another thing that contributes to that is the fact that there's so few things to actually do in Hollywood Studios right now, which makes it one of like the high ticket items to do, especially because there's, you know, a few rides there that have pretty significant height requirements, and this does not. So, you know, this is one that the little guys can still go on and still have a good time. So it's drawing a lot of the crowds for people who say can't go on Rock and Roller Coaster or can't go on Tower of Terror. When you compare it to other attractions, yeah, it's got a ridiculously long wait for what it is. So I have to say it's a little overrated. Number 3. Start the hate mail. I'm gonna get it, I know. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I contemplated putting this a little bit higher on the list, but it is a fun, unique kind of attraction, so that's why it's a little bit lower down. But it is completely overrated. It does not go fast enough. It is not long enough. The animatronics are absolutely amazing. The concept is great, and what is there is awesome. But there's just not enough of it. Super short, and I don't like the controlled. I get that it's a family coaster, so, you know, obviously they can't change it that much, and Disney World is meant for families, so it can't be on the scale of like Universal or Busch Gardens or something like that with the speed and the intensity, and I get that, but it seems like it could at least be, you know, along the lines of Thunder Mountain or something like that. To me, it's more along the lines of like Barnstormer with the amount of intensity and the amount of speed that it has. Having waited a couple of years after it came out to even get to do it, I'd heard all the hype and it just kind of didn't really live up to it. Number 2, keep the hate mail flowing, Frozen. I loved Maelstrom at the Norway Pavilion in Epcot, even though it was completely disjointed and made 0 sense. Because you're like, oh, here's some polar bears, and then there's some trolls and an oil rig. Yeah, continuity wasn't the strong suit there, but it did kind of give you a taste of some of the different aspects of the culture, you know, the historical culture, the mythological culture, and the present day culture. So that was kind of an interesting mix, and it's an old attraction, and it was one that was like really dear to everyone in my family, and we always went on it, and I loved it. So now that it's been wiped out, and Anna and Elsa and Olaf have taken over, they're cute ride, liked it, not saying I don't, just a little overrated. I'm not waiting 5 hours for that. I'm not waiting 2 hours for that. I'm getting a fast pass or I'm not doing it. So, a little overrated. My number 1 most overrated attraction. It pains me to say this because it is one of the classics. It is one of most people's must-do attractions. Peter Pan. I don't like Peter Pan. There's nothing special about Peter Pan. Some people absolutely cannot have a Disney vacation without going on Peter Pan, and I just don't get it. It's cute. I loved it when I was little. If you have little kids, they're going to absolutely love and adore it. There is absolutely 0 reason to wait in a line over 20 minutes for that ride. And why the lines are consistently at 45, 60, 90 minutes, I have absolutely no idea. So, yeah, Peter Pan's topping out my list of most overrated attractions because I just can't understand why people wait in a line for that attraction. If you love it, more power to you. Hope you enjoy. I'm gonna be at Haunted Mansion and Jungle Cruise. So that is my list, my top 6, because I couldn't get 5 in there, of the most overrated attractions at Walt Disney World. Let me know what some of yours down below are. If you have some overrated attractions that I mentioned that you agree with, let me know so I don't feel as bad about, you know, ragging on some of our classic Disney attractions, or if you have some that are not included on my list. Maybe I forgot about them, maybe you just absolutely can't stand the Jungle Cruise. Let me know. You're not alone. Some people really hate it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.